Hello and welcome back to Racing 101, where today I'll be giving you some general tips on how to get faster in F122. Let's get started. The first thing to keep in mind when learning how to get faster are the foundations you're working with. If you're struggling to brake, turn, accelerate or overtake another car, then you'll struggle even more when you push yourself harder. Fortunately, our previous guides cover all of these topics in great detail, so check them out if you need to brush up on your basic skills. Following on from these, the next thing to look at are the tracks themselves. Drive each of them in time trial and try to gain an understanding of which corners are the most important, how they link together, where the overtaking opportunities are, and so on. Eventually, you'll build a mental database of each circuit, so that you don't have to relearn it the next time you race there. Your ultimate goal at this stage is to be in a position where you have enough familiarity with your car and the track to be able to drive around it at a comfortable speed. Once you have that familiarity and no longer stress about keeping the car under control, you can start to push the limits and find ways to go faster. One important yet not commonly known way to get faster in F122 has to do with how you look at the road ahead of you. You may be used to looking at the road directly in front of your car, which gives you a good sense of your immediate surroundings. However, if you look further ahead, you can more easily prepare for upcoming corners and plan your approach before you reach them, instead of reacting to the car once you get there. As you go down the straight, your first area of focus should be your braking reference for the next turn. Once you reach that reference and start braking, you should immediately cast your eye towards the apex and exit of the turn, and start thinking about how you're going to exit the corner. Then, once you reach the apex, fully focus on the exit curb and perform your corner exit. One of the challenges you'll find with this approach is that you may be constantly looking down towards the bottom of the screen to check your speed and gearing. However, we can change this to make things easier. In the on-screen display options, head to the OSD Customization screen. Here, you can move, scale or hide any part of your on-screen display. And what we want to do for now is to move the dashboard up towards the middle of the screen, right on top of the car's halo. The next time you drive, you should notice that it's easier to focus on the road ahead as the dashboard is now in your peripheral vision and you only need to glance at it occasionally to get the info you need. Once you've got strong foundations and have been racing for a while, you'll be able to pick up on all sorts of tricks from watching other drivers. A great way to do this is through running laps in time trial and by analysing and chasing down somebody who's slightly faster than you. To begin, pick a track and set the best time you can before returning to the garage. Next, look at the leaderboard and scroll up until you find a time that's 2 or 3 tenths faster than yours, and set them as a rival. While chasing their ghost can be useful, what we really want to do here is track their data and figure out where they are gaining time on us. Head back out on track, pause the game and head to time trial options, and in here turn on rival telemetry mode as well as personal best telemetry mode. You'll now see a pair of racing lines drawn on the track, and what makes these lines special is that they show the real inputs of both you and your rival. If there's a big difference between where you turn and brake compared to your rival, or where you place your car, that's a place where you can improve. Try to follow your rival's lines through each corner and see if any of them make you go faster. Once you beat your rival, pick a faster rival and repeat the process. One final thing to consider is that getting better at anything takes time. Some players will pick up on things quite quickly, whereas others may take a few weeks or months to figure things out and go faster. All of this is okay, and you shouldn't feel bad for not being an expert right away. You also shouldn't be afraid to fail, as making mistakes is a natural part of the learning process, and having the right mindset when mistakes happen is a great way to improve. It can be frustrating to lose control of the car or not get the ideal speed through a turn, but asking yourself, what could I have done here, is a great way to identify where you could improve. Watching replays of your mistakes can give you clues on the things you can change. And if you keep an open mind, try out different approaches and see what works best for you, the pace will come. For more tips and tricks, be sure to check out our other Racing 101 guides, and good luck in your next race.